Richo, I'm so excited to show you my rainbow Cajun fish bowl, which, look at these spices. Are you getting excited just looking at that?
The aroma before you start cooking with them is amazing.
I'm
Loving
being
it.
like a scientist, wafting it towards me. But you've got a beautiful array of spices here, which I'm literally chucking in. There's oregano, there's thyme, there's paprika, there's cumin, there's a tiny bit of salt, there's black pepper, there's onion powder, there's garlic powder. I know.
Take a breath.
I know, it's exciting. And you just mix it together in a shallow bowl, get it all come together. Gosh, it smells so good.
Now, it's not a group of spices that you want to toss around because the chilli will get in there and...
Correct.
Yeah, create havoc.
And we don't need that, Richo. We have enough problems between us. Salt. OK, now I am going to use barramundi for this, and I love barramundi.
It's a fantastic fish. You can get it wild, you can get it farmed. It's a native Australian fish, so we should be eating more of it. I think it's beautiful. Slightly oily in texture.
Yes.
The bones are easily removed,
Yes.
and, you know, skin on, skin off. I think it's a cracker of a fish that is so underrated in Australia. We should eat more barramundi.
I'm so glad you said that. I agree, and it's often Australian, and it's so good for you. The reason I love it as a mum of 2 young kids is you're unlikely to get bones, so it's a safe fish for kids, and for me, it holds flavour beautifully. Wonderful. So I have just coated that, and you just have to shake off and shimmy as you do it, the excess, so you don't have too much. And then in a pan, which I've got preheated, a touch of extra virgin olive oil. We put that in, and we pop in our bits of fish.
I like it.
I like it too, and that is going to be so good when it's done. So I cook that for about 3 minutes each side. Could you please do me a favour? And we're going to get some tomatoes, some red onions, some lime in a bowl together, kind of juiced together. And I'm going to work on the avocado, and this is hopefully going to come together beautifully. Perfect. So I'm going to chop this. And I know we have great debate on how the right way to chop an avocado. If Richo did the avocado, it would look more beautiful.
Well, there's probably a safe way is the one we want to concentrate on.
Correct.
When you're doing it at home, you know, grabbing the avocado and hitting it with a knife to take the pip out is a great way to end up at the doctor's surgery.
Yes.
Getting your hand put back together. So
correct.
A big no-no in our book.
Look at this. Look at all the colours coming together here.
Loving it.
So corn is an integral component of this dish. This has just been literally sprayed with some olive oil and placed into a little grill skillet. Corn is so good for kids as well because it often suits their palate. You smile because he's in such a different phase of kids, aren't you? I'm in that phase where you're like still trying to sell them veggies. Corn is a great one.
I have teenagers, and that sort of they chop and change. It's more about the amount of food that's in the fridge that's when they get older.
Well, I'm already living that, my friend. Look at this, Richo. Look at how beautiful that looks. So you want to get this real toasted appearance to the fish. You don't want it completely burnt, but see how those spices are kind of slightly darkened?
They sort of blacken, and that's something that, it doesn't mean it's burnt, it means the spices darken. They almost look black, but that's what brings out the flavour and makes it even more delicious.
And you can smell it. It's glorious. Now, I reckon we're about done with the rainbows. Let's move on to the rice. Perfect, thank you. So I find these incredibly easy to use, and this is the whole grain version of basmati. So it's high in fibre, reduce your bowel cancer risk, good for your heart. Look at me, being the doctor in the kitchen. If you're happy to pop that in the microwave for a couple of minutes, I think we're ready to come back and plate this up. Richo, it's time for the rice, and I'm going to teach you a little Preeya-ism now, which is something I do at home that both adults and kids can do. You've got Richo-isms, I've got Preeya-isms.
Is it called a prism?
It could be.
Could be. We like
Gosh,
that one.
we're getting mathematical now. So rice goes in a bowl, and here's a way that you can increase the amount of protein and veggies in your life. Chuck some canned beans in.
That's as simple as that. Nutrition, the basis of nutrition can be solved by chucking some beans in there.
It can. It's better, okay? It's a start. It's a little baby step, Richo. So this is the bed of our rainbow Cajun fish bowl, that beautiful rice and bean concoction. Then could you please nestle some tomato in there, please? And I'm going to chuck...
I like this. Nestling the tomatoes, chucking
yes.
the barramundi.
Yes, correct. I'm using an array of terms. You want to put some beautiful corn on the side. Look at all the colours coming together.
It's all about colour for you. And this is something when you're cooking for young kids, when you have lots of colour on the plate and separate it, because you have to separate things.
Correct.
Because they won't eat it if they're touching.
Well, they should. You should get them to that point. Sorry, the mother and me and the GP just reared her head, roared her head, whatever the saying is.
I'm going to get you to come to my house and see if you can work out my teenage sons.
As long as you have me over, because we're best friends for life now.
I know.
Go on.
Well, have a little taste of
Taste
the
it.
barramundi. I want the spice in there and make sure I get everything in there. A little bit of the rice and the beans because that makes it nutritious.
It does. Look at that. When you look at that and you can see that many colours on your plate, you know you're winning.
It's outstanding. The flavour, the spices just work beautifully. I love the beans and the rice as well, but the barramundi is the hero. It's moist, juicy, cooked perfectly, and the spice in there is fantastic. Well done.
Thank you. That's a one-bowl nutritious meal, easy to make.